In today's episode, I want to share a typical story that exemplifies the shift in mindset needed to change how you manage your team to become a systems manager rather than a pure people's manager, and to see what a drastic impact it can have on your team's productivity, their motivation, and ultimately the pride they have in the work they do with you. And do remember to hit subscribe so you don't miss out on future episodes, so you can live with more presence, purpose, and freedom.
So the question is this: how do entrepreneurs like us, who don't have an endless supply of cash, how do we leverage the best apps, virtual assistants, automation tools, and systems to scale our businesses, increase our profits, and have more time to do what we love to do each day? That is the question, and this podcast will give you the answer. My name's Dr. Steve Day, and this is Systemize Your Success.
Okay, so today I want to share the story of Sarah. Now, Sarah is a typical client that joins our academy and comes with a host of problems that we try to fix. One of the problems that Sarah had was that she felt that she was just too involved in the day-to-day management. She was sort of the glue that was holding everything together. She was the go-to person to fix any problems. Anytime there was an issue with something not working, it was always coming back onto her to come up with a solution. The problem was that she was managing people without really taking ownership of the systems those people were using. Every business has systems, whether you like it or not, or even know it or not. If you've not documented them formally and created all fancy flowcharts and all the rest of it, it doesn't matter. The systems still exist. If you have clients, you have onboarding systems, you have serving systems, you have customer support systems. Those systems may just be you. And maybe your staff just winging it, but they exist because you are serving clients. You are making money in your business. So those systems exist in every single aspect of your business. The challenge is if those aren't formally documented, if they aren't standardized, if you aren't actually giving people a map to follow, then people do wing it. They make stuff up because they don't have anything to go on. They don't have any guidance that you have created and that you've agreed on that allows them to know the way that you want your business run. This leads to huge inconsistencies in the way work's done. It leads to procrastination, with people not knowing which way they should turn. And it leads to loads of questions coming back to you because you haven't clearly defined what done looks like. What is good? Like, how do we measure success? If you can give your staff clear guidance on these key things, on how to know when something is actually finished, and a way of giving them good feedback so they know if they're doing well or actually need to improve an area. If these things are built into your business, it means that those questions actually can disappear. When you start creating systems to guide people through their work and actually just documenting it simply to allow people to know what the next step is, to allow people to know how to escalate a problem and where that should be going, to create, for example, knowledge bases so that people can find answers to their own questions without having to come to ask you. All of these little things add up to a business that runs far more efficiently with or without your involvement. That allows you to become a true people manager. We're not managing the work people are doing, but we're managing the people. We're managing their motivations. We're actually trying to encourage them, to improve them, to give them coaching. We can spend all our time on actually making sure our staff are performing at the highest level, that their aspirations are being met, that we are encouraging them to become the best versions of themselves. If we can spend our one-to-one time with our staff focusing on them as people and bringing them up, rather than actually spending all of our time trying to fix task-based problems, which should be dealt with by your systems, your team will benefit from more personal growth because you're actually attending to their needs as an individual rather than as a worker or a cog in the whole system. You're actually helping them develop themselves in a way that they want to. But that will then obviously come back and knock on effect in a positive way on your business, because now you're encouraging people to be the best version of themselves they can be, to improve themselves in areas which obviously will then help your business. So you can find areas of interest of them that's going to serve you as well. You can focus on coaching them, developing them in those areas, on getting them to do training, etc. And all your time can be true people management. Not what typical managers do is to actually focus on tasks and on work rather than on actually developing the person. I think the most valuable work you can do with your team is to actually help them become the best they can be, to help them to enjoy their work more, to find the right work for them to do. And we can only do that if we have time and we're not fixing fixing problems and putting out fires and answering questions the whole time we're actually spending with them. So my big shout out for today is to really look at your people in your business and say, look, is it a people problem, or is it actually that I haven't told them what they need to do, how to do it well, what good looks like, how to know done is done, and give them a way of actually overcoming the challenges they're going to obviously meet along the way, because challenges always come up. Is there a system for dealing with challenges? Is there a clear path to escalate problems in a meaningful way? Are there resources available for them to go and actually try to find solutions themselves? Do you have guidance on what to do if they don't know how to do something? All of these things, if you just leave it to chance, people will just guess at what they need to do. They'll go and do their own research in whatever way they see fit. Whereas if you actually spend some time putting these key things into place, so we're not trying to dictate every single step of every single process, from day one, we're actually trying to teach our staff and our team to be better problem solvers, but to do that in a way that actually gets to a solution that we as business owners are happy with, and it's not just sort of plucked out of thin air or, just made up on the spot. If we have a process around how people approach problems, how they do their work, how they know what's done is done, all those things that I mentioned before, that can give huge amounts of clarity, massive amounts of increase in productivity. It can allow people to feel much more pride in their work because they know they're actually doing the right work in the right way. And it allows you, hopefully, to be able to give loads more positive feedback to encourage this and sort of this self-perpetuating greatness when they actually get positive feedback from doing good work, rather than the negative side of things where you have to actually correct, which just chips away at morale, chips away at confidence. Whereas if we can flip that round and start actually giving them more positive feedback on a regular basis because they have a system to follow, so they're generally doing work well, that is just like a catalyst for actually making the team more happy, more productive, and actually to work hopefully better together as well, because they now feel more confident in just bringing their problems up, because you've got a system and a process to deal with them in a constructive way. So that's it. That is my shout out for today, is to say, look, try to look at your people and say, look, is it a people problem, or is it actually a systems problem? Am I spending my time with my people focusing on the people aspects of them, or am I spending most of my time when I'm with my people during my one-to-ones or your coaching sessions or whatever you do with your staff? What am I spending my time during those meetings on? Is it staff? Is it humans? Or is it actually tasks? If it's tasks, we need better systems. If it's people, you're on the right track. That's it. Go away, have a think. How can I improve my systems to mean I can spend more time developing my team in ways that actually improve the value that they bring to me as a business owner? It's a total win-win. They'll love you for it. You'll love them for it as well. And you'll hopefully feel pride in your own self for being a better manager as a result. If you do want to find out more about how we can help you to put these systems in place to allow people to have clear guidance on how they do what they need to do, or who's doing it, when it needs to be done, and what good looks like, about putting metrics in place to measure performance, to be able to help you then give great feedback to them. If you want help with all of that, head over to join.sys.academy. And on there, you'll find a link to the book a call with me to have a chat about your business, about your systems, about where you're at, and to see if we can actually help you, and information about joining our academy as well, where you can actually come and join all of our clients and get access to all of our systems, all of our coaching, all of our courses, to be able to actually put all this stuff in place in your business. That's it. Thanks very much for today. Please remember to hit subscribe and do share this with anyone else you know who runs a small business who you may feel may benefit from listening to this episode. Thank you very much.